Back to Exploring Whiskey. Tonight we've got another good, great, dare I say, great expression from Nelson Brothers.
Yes, so this is another bottle your own experience. So after we did our whiskey experience for the Whiskey Club, Adam and I ended up going back for a premium tasting experience. And as part of that, they let us taste the brand new one that they tapped that particular day, actually. They had kicked what was Apple of My Eye?
Mm-hmm.
They kicked it that day, bottled up the rest, threw it in the store, and they tapped this one. And this is a barley wine finished named Barley's Angels. So depending on how old you are, you may or may not know, Charlie's Angels was a show from the 60s, 70s, I want to say.
Yeah.
And then there was 70s. Like a movie that came out in the thousands-ish, somewhere in that time frame.
Anyway, oh, who was the blonde?
The original blonde or the like Farrah Fawcett?
Farrah Fawcett.
Okay. I was going to say, or Drew Barrymore in the movie. Or
that's right,
Cameron
that's
Diaz.
Right. Or Cameron Diaz, yeah.
And then Lucy Liu?
Gosh,
I think was the other one?
Yeah, Lucy Liu. But I just have memories of Farrah Fawcett. That's all. I'm just going to leave it there.
Okay.
I'll leave it there.
As part of that tasting, that we got to taste the brand new barley wine cask finish at 117.65 proof. And this particular one I named Go Birds because they just won the freaking Super Bowl.
I don't remember what I named mine. I think I stayed with Barley's Angels because I didn't want to.
Didn't want to
there
mess
was
with
so
it.
much thinking involved.
This particular Reese, they took their barrel.
It's reserve again?
I want to say it was a reserve barrel. And they sent it to a place in Nashville, Germantown, where they do barley wine. So barley wine is technically really high proof beer.
Yeah.
I mean, after a certain point in like proof point, you can't call it beer anymore. You have to call it barley wine.
Right.
So they finished their barley wine in a Nelson Brothers barrel, and then they gave the barrel back. It is a little bit, I was going to say, it's a little bit more nuanced. So I think they had to edge it just a touch longer than the apple cider one.
Okay.
Apple cider had a little bit more to it, like a more impact. So I want to say this is either 9 months or almost up to a year of finishing. That is what we have, is a little bit of whiskey finished in some barley wine casks.
Nice dark color. Usually get
really
like this really red off of a barley wine. I'm a big fan of Paulaner. I think Paulaner does a Maretsu. That's what it's called. That was my first experience with barley wine. And
okay.
It was around 17% alcohol, I remember.
Right.
So
yeah. It's got a kick for what you think is a beer, but it's just not.
I'm getting this delicious candied cherry. It's a brandy, it's almost a Luxardo, but it's like this.
All right, see, I'm gonna go darker than that. I get a little bit more of a raisinish.
Okay.
Like a slightly darker than Luxardo. It's not quite that.
I'm getting that really sugary sweetness though, which is making me kind of. That's what made me go.
I mean, yeah. Oh. But and then I'm also going to say, possibly a touch of age.
Yeah. Yeah.
A little oaky,
a little bit of oak, a little
leather,
char.
little.
And that proof is really, really, really.
It's nice.
Dancing
it's
there.
Not aggressive. It's just apparent. Yeah.
Corn, rye, and barley.
Yep.
So we've got those three grains going on.
Really solid. I mean, amazing combination of some like good sweet notes, some fruity notes, a little bit of aged notes, a little bit of everything that you kind of want.
There's a lot going on there. There's a lot going on there.
Brown sugar.
Brown sugar. I get this candied date. This candy like this.
Okay.
Yeah,
medjool dates. There's really sweet ones.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
That when you chew into them, like they stick to your teeth.
Yeah.
They're just sugary. Oh.
I used to eat those on dark chocolate.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good. Or bacon wrapped ones of those. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Then you go to a real fancy place and they have like prosciutto wrapped ones, and the finish it lasts a while.
It does. There's like a nice oily. It's not totally coating my mouth, but it's like a nice oily linger that goes on.
Don't you want to go back and get another one?
Almost
Yeah.
a slight drool that's
Mm-hmm.
going on that makes me want to take another sip.
Mm.
A touch of chocolate.
I got it off the nose, like right before I put it in my mouth.
There's like a touch of a sweeter chocolate. It's not totally sweet, like it's not milk chocolate, but it's not like the super bitter cacao type note. It's like sweeter chocolate, but like 90% chocolate, like that kind of thing.
It's almost like the chocolate I get from some of my kids' candies. That's not like, oh, this is a real well-known chocolate, but it's still chocolate. If that makes sense. Either like Easter candy or like some kind of
Like chocolate covered fruit chocolate.
yeah.
Like
Okay.
it's not like a script of a Hershey's milk chocolate type thing,
It's almost yeah.
but it is like a little manufactured.
Even though whoever makes Raisinets, I think that's a
I get where you're going though.
get
Exactly. Yeah,
that
you're
like
right.
shiny
Totally right.
chocolate, but
Yeah.
it's like boom, a punch of chocolate, and then it like goes away
Yeah.
and yeah.
Little shiny, slightly artificial.
Yeah, that sheen. It's like, how do you buff the chocolate to make
How do
it
you
shine
make it
like
so
that?
shiny? Totally different. That's the biggest kicker is to go from the apple cider one to the very different profile, very different, just totally different experience.
It's not a beer finish. That's not like a black Brier. It's not like a
Right. I'm not getting a stout, like chocolate, that kind of chocolatey note.
but I'm not getting dessert wine. I'm not getting like
Nope.
a
port,
cab or a port
yeah, right.
or
None of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you're
Any
not
of like
getting
the
any
dessert
of
wine finishes.
Oloroso sherry type notes.
No.
I don't get a strong barley note,
Mm-mm.
but I do get like a strong, like dark beer note.
Where I think that's over that cacao, that
Mm-hmm.
chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it lends itself to coffee, but which is not here.
Wow, now you just said coffee. I could go down that path, but it's still more chocolatey than coffee.
But it has that like slight bitterness, which is not offensive. It's
No,
like this
no.
really, where I think the same date plummy. It's all in that same wheelhouse of it's
That's
kind of
crazy.
bitter, but it's not.
It's a neat bottle. It's just very, very different. It's totally unique.
Really cool finish.
Fun little just weirdness.
But yeah, as soon as when we were in that room and he said a barley wine finish, I immediately thought of what I said earlier, that Paulaner Maretsu. It's it's a particular type of barley wine that I had for the first time at Flying Saucer, if you remember that bar.
I do.
They had them on their pint night.
Okay.
And I had way too many. I was in the corner sucking my thumb and I had to call Nancy to come get me because I couldn't make it. At least I didn't try to drive home, kids. Still, I have finished. I haven't even gone back with water.
Do it with the water.
I haven't done with the water, and I still.
That got way more fruity. Your dates are right. Like that's exactly what it is. It's got a very strong sweet fruit note, dried fruit, and the dates.
Chocolate covered dates are it's kind of Raisinets, but more that date note, yeah.
But bigger.
Yeah.
It's Raisinets, but bigger.
Yeah, if there was a Raisinette that big. God, just with dates involved.
That's delicious.
It's great.
And I'm gonna go with the. What's the right note nut? There's a nut that comes through, and I want to say macadamia.
Super fatty nut.
Yeah. Possibly Brazil nut. Like there's a really a big there's a fatty nut note.
Oh.
That is totally different than the cider cask, but honestly just as magically unique. And nothing that I've had from them or any other distillery like that. Totally unique.
That's a good. And the more I have their finished products, I'm just like saying, like, these guys are finishing bourbon
well.
so well.
They've got a magic. Whoever's their master blender, master distiller that picks the right time to start doing the barrelings and like the bottlings of those. Like they're tasting it and their palate is like spot on. This is
Yeah.
I think any longer it may have been gone too barley forward.
Yeah, that.
But
Yeah.
but it's just got the perfect amount of impact that
It just balances with that reserve.
it plays
so
really nicely.
well. I mean, a lot of people, yeah, you might watch this and go, oh, well, Fourgate's doing it better. Barrel Company's doing it better. I'm not.
Well, Fourgate's doing it for twice the price.
Exactly.
At least.
Both of them.
At least.
Both of them. I mean, Barrel, I mean.
Barrel's mid hundreds, right? But Fourgate's always 200, 250,
Right.
something like that. This is a $100 bottle.
Right.
And it's the experience of literally bottling it your own.
Yeah.
I think I have like a little chunk of video of you filling yours. But I was talking to someone else at the time and kind of got slightly distracted. So I may not have the full thing, but the whole, whatever I have, we're going to, that'll be played at some point during this review.
So it's like we can't make it happen right now, but maybe eventually once
if it's a
they
little
slow
bit
down a
more
little
than
bit. But obviously BT
gotta
is just
drink it
incredible
really
in terms of
Done.
demand is.
I cannot do more than
why I signed up for this.
Nah.
But the actual experience of taking the bottle, walking up to the machine, pulling the handles, filling up the tube, dropping into the bottle, the whole experience is also very, very cool
Yes.
in itself and is damn good whiskey.
And sitting in a room with people that have different varying levels of like experience with whiskey.
That was fun.
Where you get out
Right.
of tours. That
Yeah.
was really cool. We
Yeah.
were there with some people that own a liquor store that
Yep.
were pretty experienced.
Yeah,
And we were also with
absolutely.
people that were like, it's whiskey, you
Yeah.
know. And then having the scent table. They also had a few different,
They
I
had,
guess.
6 different like scents of like vanilla, things like that, and then they had
you
some
had vanilla,
spices.
you had cinnamon, you had some cotton balls that had some scents on them.
Like
So
just
as you
oils.
nose and as you tasted bourbons, you could kind of go, I think I'm getting a little bit of cocoa, like you said earlier.
Right.
You could smell chocolate, then go back
Right.
to the bourbon and see what you get.
And they also gave you dried fruits and chocolates and cheeses and nuts that like you could kind of like go back and forth and does it enhance, does it change, does it whatever.
Yeah. Does it elevate? Does it? Yeah.
They also had some different like waters to add in.
Yeah.
Distillers water to add in and kind of see if the proof, like what does that do by adding a little bit of water.
Oh, that's right. The time I did I had bottled water, and he went, "Well, I'm gonna grab some the water that we used to make our own."
Right.
And I was mad at
Which
myself.
I mean we used for the water that on the show, this particular water, this is reverse osmosis water. So
ionized 17 times.
it's not 17 times, it's like 3. But
it's from the
it's
puddle in the backyard.
relatively pure, and I kind of like it. I also like it when it makes ice cubes because it makes really
pretty clear ice cubes.
pretty clear ice cubes. Rank her up.
You go first.
Oh,
I
all
did
right,
too.
all
All
right.
right, you go.
All right, I'm gonna go first. Man, it's so different. It's so weird.
That word uniqueness plays.
It
in a
is
couple
very
different ways.
unique.
I've never had a barley wine finish.
So what did I do? 6.8 for the apple.
Yep.
I have to go into the low 7s for this, just for the simple fact is I've never had anything that I can remember of a whiskey finished in barley wine. I'm gonna go 7.2. I think that there's the flavor profile is totally unique. The fruitiness, the chocolate, like everything that the barley wine added into this is an experience I really enjoy.
Yeah.
It is very different than almost anything else I've ever had. And that's a 7.2. It's not it doesn't blow me out of the water of, oh my God, it's so good. It's a, William Leroy Weller.
Oh.
But it is such a unique bottle. I would tell everybody go to Nelson's Distillery and get yourself a bottle of this if you can.
I went up a little bit.
7.2.
7.5.
Ooh.
I love everything about this for all the reasons you explained. It's super unique. No one's ever done a bar. Oh, well, I don't know. I haven't experienced one or seen one of a barley wine.
Right.
You either have a heavy porter. It seems like beer finished is either like a lager, a heavy influenced stout, a porter, or something like that going on. This is something completely different.
Yeah, totally different.
Gosh, and from all that, the only drawback is it's not a drawback. It's $100, but it's so unique.
It's not that bad.
It's gone. You pour your bottle of this, unless you go back right off, the day it was poured.
Yeah.
We could have went the next day and bought another bottle.
Absolutely.
Of it. But 7.5, I'm happy with this. It's delicious. It's so good. It's so different. And you're gonna go back. I don't know. Sometimes
I'm gonna say it's better than I remember it from our experience in the tasting.
It is.
And I don't know if it's because you have the flight and you're comping it against other things.
Yeah.
But this tastes better right now than it did the day that I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna buy that. And that makes me feel even happier.
I don't know. I would put these guys against Good Times. Like Good Times does the silliness. If these guys have the opportunity, I think,
because I don't think they're adding Good Times. I think they add some stuff. I think they not gonna say cheat, but
they put a little bit of strawberry in there.
They play the rules. They may not call it straight bourbon. They'll just call it bourbon so that they can add a little of this or that or to it.
Just to make it
I
crazy.
think they're truly doing really the difficult work of finishing it in barrels that they're doing special stuff.
Yeah, singular barrels
They're doing some special stuff.
Yes.
On that note, if you like reviews like this of random whiskeys that you can find at local distilleries or distillery, any kind of whiskey that can be found at across the world, hopefully, at least in our area of the world, as we try to find new and different whiskeys. If you like these kinds of reviews, love it if you could like this. That helps us grow the channel and continue to expand who we reach with this content.
Yes. If you stumble upon us for the first time and you love finished whiskeys, you love anything, any whiskey. Like Kevin said, we try to experience stuff from all over the place. Anything we get our hands on, anything we hear that's buzzworthy, that's good stuff, we try to get into it. Give us our honest review and take it with a grain of salt. Whatever.
Our palates, our opinions.
Yeah.
This is what it is.
Totally.
All right. Well, thank you very much for watching. See you on the next episode.
Cheers.
Cheers.